few murders here and there. Even the moon's frightened of me, frightened to death. The whole world's frightened to death.
Hello, friends and fiends. Welcome back to another segment of Blood and Guts, HHN, where we break down the blood and guts of Halloween Horror Nights. With me, as always, is my partner in frights, Matt. How's it going, Matt?
Doing fantastic, Evil Adam. You know why?
Why's that?
We finally got a house announcement.
We finally got an announcement. Hooray!
Hooray!
Hooray! I feel like we need some confetti or something over here because after all this waiting, we finally got one, and it's a good one, too.
Yes, it is. It's a real heavy hitter.
I thought they were going to stonewall us and give us a small name or something, but no, they did pretty good with this one.
Mm-hmm.
So we got The Last of Us, based on the game by Naughty Dog. And as a fan of the game and a fan of the show, I got to say that I'm pretty stoked about this one.
Oh, me too, most definitely. And seeing the trailer when it come out and just seeing how they teased it with her playing the video game, then hearing those clickers come out from the shadows.
Yeah,
like I said, it was really good.
Oh yeah, I think it's going to be good. You think about the facade for Hill House, you think about last year's Descendants, and you think about the trains, the subway trains. Mm-hmm. And think back to like Seeds of Extinction, like other apocalyptic houses they've done,
which they do very well. They do a great job of those.
Very well. And as far as like vines growing on stuff, flowers coming out of stuff, they got this down. So this one should be a home run. Mm-hmm. I'm really hoping it's a top home run for us.
Oh, I don't have a doubt that this one will be, like I said, because they got so much to work with the post-apocalyptic world. Mm-hmm. You got so many set pieces like the cities, and you got like within the buildings.
Yep.
The creature makeup effects. This house is just ripe for the picking. So I really think that we're going to end up having a top-notch house with this IP.
Yeah, and it's talking like they're going to be doing the Pittsburgh story from the game,
mm-hmm.
and you're going to be in the hotel. You're going to be not only facing off against the clickers and all the other names for them, I can't quite remember, the bloaters and the things, but also the cannibalistic hordes of survivors.
Yep.
So,
and one thing is interesting, I know that we were discussing too, is how they just went with the basing it off the video game and not actually on the HBO show. So, like from what I'm hearing through the grapevine, is it seems like they had some issues in securing all the rights for the show. Which I mean, for Universal, this may have been the plan from day one.
Right.
So,
yeah, and I mean there was hints last year that Descendants was going to be Last of Us, or Last of Us was kind of rumored last year, as we all know. But, I heard that they, like you said, had been, having trouble getting the rights to not only, you got to do Pedro Pascal's likeness, you got to do all the other actors, all their likenesses. That's a lot of money.
Yeah.
And not, so be easier to translate the game. But I feel like they've picked a good one, and
I do, and even though, like I said, it won't be off the show. Like I said, being off the game to me, that's well enough for me.
And the game is definitely more violent and more dark and dramatic than the show. So I feel like that choice just makes itself right there.
Absolutely. So whenever you were watching the trailer, I know you were speaking to me earlier off camera how you noticed some Easter eggs. Tell us about that.
Yeah, just basic Easter eggs I noticed in the trailer where there's a guitar in the corner, and the guitar is iconic in the game because he teaches her how to play, and he's a musician. I also noticed that one of the posters was a poster from the game and the show, and then another poster in her apartment is, I don't remember so much if this one's in the show or the game, but it's a poster that shows the different variations of fungus.
Right.
And just also, if you notice in the teaser, she had a lot of tall plants in her apartment, like kind of coming up and around, and so I think all that kind of ties together. But I'm sure this has all been said before.
Yep. And like I said, I look forward to it immensely. And one thing I did notice too, how it was kind of hinting at what announcements we may have to come, because it mentions again in that trailer how the Universal legend is real, and then they're kind of talking about conspiracy theories.
Yeah.
So that'll be fun to see how this plays out in the next month or so with what other announcements that we get.
And that's a little harder to tie together because in that you're thinking, are they talking about another house or are they talking about an icon? with that legend. It's the legend. It's real or something,
Mm-hmm.
And could that be an icon? Could that be Cindy? Could that be Bloody Mary? Could it be? We've even heard rumor Dr. Oddfellow.
Yep.
So it's
Yep,
just a
and-
matter of time and patience.
Yep, and like I said, it could be anything. Like I said, with the Universal houses, it's been rumored it could be one of those. Like I said, it could be the icon. So definitely, it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out.
And another thing that's going to be fun to check out is where it's going to go.
Mm-hmm.
You could put it in the soundstage where they had the Hill House or the Weekend.
Right.
That's the big one. Or you could put it where they had the monsters and just really do it up like a whole city facade, covered in vines, old cars,
Right.
street lamps, stoplights, kind of covered in vines. So many ways you could do this thing. And
Yeah, that's what my gut says too. Like I said, we may be totally off and may end up being one of the tent houses in the back, like where
Yeah.
Seas of Extinction was.
yeah,
No matter where they do it, like I said, I know they've had a plan in place. I have total faith that it's going to end up being a home run.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm like you. I think like with the set pieces, like being in the city, being in Pittsburgh, that those bigger sound stages is probably what's going to be needed.
yeah, and I think it's just going to be. I think the facade is. Something that as soon as they announced it, that's what I was looking forward to the most, was just seeing that facade, and when you walk in, having those smells, those visuals, and just experiencing that. That was what really got me. I was like, I'm stoked to see, even if I know the house is going to be awesome, but just that facade itself. Let's take a look at that.
Absolutely.
And we're going to do the tour this year, so
Hopefully that's going to be
hopefully
one. Yeah.
that will be one of them. And if it is, then we're going to bring you coverage of it right here on our channel.
Absolutely. So the one last piece then we get to talk about whenever they have that house announcement is for the collectors. They have that merchandise that dropped as well. So I know we had
Yeah.
a T-shirt and I believe a coffee mug.
Yeah, it was a mug and a shirt, and then there'll probably be some more that comes out,
Right.
because they'll stagger the release of that.
Yeah, Universal's doing a great job this year of really having a slow drip of everything. So
Yeah, a little too slow for my liking.
yeah,
Because, I really was wanting an announcement like 3 weeks ago, but weren't we all?
yeah.
So-
But I mean, the good news is the closer we get to the event, more announcements are going to be coming sooner rather than later. So
Right.
stay tuned to the channel because you're going to want to see those announcements and get our takes as well. But also leave in the comments, what did you think about this house? Are you excited for The Last of Us? What other houses do you anticipate being announced next?
Yeah, totally. And as always, friends and fiends, stay tuned for more blood and guts.